All right, we're going to go ahead and get started again. I know there's a couple of people that are having some issues creating a database, and just with Postgres, we will help you out and solve it before the end of the day. But we're going to go ahead and move on to installing Python. So Python is already technically installed on your Macs, but just like but it's installed, but it's not the most up-to-date version. They pretty much just Mac just gives you like the basic version, whatever. So we want to update to the most recent version, which is like 3.7 something. I don't know. Right now, I think it comes, if you just got a Mac and haven't touched or installed Python, it's at like a 2.3 or 2.7. So we're gonna go ahead and brew install Python. Is everyone still install? Is anybody still installing? Good. So once it's finished, type Python in the command line, and you should see this.
Oh, it still defaults to 2.7, right? Yeah.
So even when installing it?
I just installed it.
I'm getting permission denied for the user local frameworks.
You have to put the alias in your mesh profile.
Oh yeah, okay. So that's all. Okay.
That might be.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. Sorry. Yeah. So we're gonna put this. We're gonna add this export path to your bash profile. So right now, you guys technically don't have a bash profile. So I'm gonna exit out of here. So if you do touch this thing, just touch till the /bash profile. It's going to create the bash profile, like a file. And then if you type in code bash profile, you know, we installed that code command, and that was the first thing we installed. And you click that, it's going to open your bash profile.
Yeah. Do you have to do the exit like you did?
Yes, sorry.
Okay.
Yep.
Show that again.
So if I was in Python, exit, and then kind of like you're executing a function. There you go. So then we're going to paste the above code, this export path, include the quotes, and you're going to just copy it and paste it in here. Your bash profile doesn't have to look like mine yet, but just paste it in there. Has anybody not pasted it in there? Just anywhere. Just, it could be anywhere. Okay. And that,
Yeah, so
all right, then you can put Command S to save it. But then we're going to want to reload our bash profile by source bash profile. You don't have to see anything, it just kind of reloads it. Bash profile. Every time you upload a computer, it like runs that stuff, so your local environment is all set up the way you guys want it, right? That's what
Yeah, it's like it just runs every line every time you reach.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, your bash profile, anytime you open the terminal, it runs that bash profile, and it runs every single command. It's essentially like it's a way that you can customize your terminal and like just the code on your machine anytime you open up the terminal. All right. Thank you. Yeah, if you type in Python again, still says 274.
No, 37.
Oh. So now we're going to go on to Node Version Manager. So Node isn't Node on Mac install or no? So Node Version Manager. So you're going to be working just throughout your career and everything. You're going to when you're building applications. The application may have run a different version of Node. So if you have like multiple applications on your laptop, you want to run one that has a different version of Node. Node Version Manager enables you to switch versions on your laptop. So if you do brew install nvm, cool. Yep. Then we're gonna open up your bash profile again. And we're gonna copy and paste this command in there anywhere. I usually
If you want to keep your batch profile organized, you can make comments with the hashtag.
Yep.
And anything you type after the hashtag will be. So if this is gibberish command that you don't know what it is, you can make a note for yourself saying what it is, and then put it below. So you don't just have a bunch of stuff that you don't.
No, right?
yeah.
Mike, I have a question with my bash profile is saying invalid syntax when I try to open it.
Just one slash.
Yeah, so if you type in order to quickly comment that stuff out or create a comment, you type command and then /. So if I wanted to comment this out or uncomment it, comment it. And then we'll also want to reload the bash profile via source bash profile. Everyone good? No? Open up a new
Now I
thing.
can't get back to the old thing. Oh, no, there it is.
My bash profile doesn't want to open. It keeps saying syntax error.
Bash profile. That doesn't do anything. Visual Studio Code.
The bash commands don't do anything.
So when you type in the code, that bash profile.
He's right around this
Lane, try asking in the Juliett's chat in Slack. Mike's answering stuff there.
Okay, that might be. I think so.
Yeah.
There. Oh, and so you might have to do this.
whatsoever.
Yeah, so.
You might have to restart your terminal or your VS Code, so exit out of it and close it, restart.
This.
Yeah, so go right click on it. And then,
It's all closed.
okay, yeah, then open it up again.
So that's what I got. That's what I got. And you do that, you save it. So when you put the new exports into the dashboard, places the previous one,
No.
so it should still be there. I should still see it.
Yeah, it'll combine all of them.
Okay, I don't know where to put it.
Did you save it?
I did.
Oh, you're in a file called codes. You're not in the bash code.
There we go. There it is. I'm learning how to use visual. Thank you very much.
And it's okay if you guys fall behind. We'll get during lunch or like afterwards, we're done with lecture. We'll get you in the right spot. Okay, it's okay if you fall behind. So once you source your batch profile, reloading it, we're gonna run mvm install 12. It's essentially just gonna install the most up-to-date version of Node, version 12. So yeah, mine's already installed, so. Just mvm install 12.
Yeah.
Is everyone good? I know there's a couple of people that are still having some issues, just getting caught up.
NVM install 12.
So now we're going to move and installing Git. Does anybody know what Git is?
Yeah, they do Git.
So Git is essentially like a version control of your application. So say you're writing a document in Word, and anytime you save it, it just saves that the most recently saved version of that document. Well, Git allows you to save different versions of your application, of your code. So you're able to save one version, and then if you like make edits, you can always go back to that version. So yeah, that's what Git is. Right?
Is it kind of intuitive when you should, stop your version and move forward? You know what I'm saying? Where at what point do you know, hey, I need to make this a version?
Well, we're going to get to that. It's essentially it's like saving your code, but we'll get there. So we're going to do brew install Git. It's usually, and then we're going to do which Git. You see user local bin Git.
I see user bin Git.
What?
I see user bin Git.
User bin Git? Okay. That might be a problem, but we'll look into it. Yeah, we'll get to that if it is a problem. So we're going to create a file called gitignore_global. So we're going to copy and paste this touch gitignore_global. That just sets up a global git ignore file. So you don't have to worry about this now, but this file, anything that goes into this file will be ignored when uploading or saving, essentially, your code. So next we're gonna do git config, this next one. Shouldn't like see anything actually happening. Just, does anybody see any errors or weird things happening? What? Command can't be found. For git? Okay. Did you do this?
Yeah, that one I did. Just
Did you guys see like command can't be found? Okay. Next, we're going to set up our git config with our GitHub credentials. So we're going to be pushing or uploading our code to GitHub a lot. And anytime we do that, we're going to have to grant GitHub access to, or grant GitHub access, or give GitHub access to our files, right? So, and we're going to be pushing a lot of code, uploading a lot of code. So instead of having to write in our username and password every single time, we're going to save our credentials in this file. And then, so anytime you push code, you don't have to type in that stuff. So if we just go through the username, open that in a new window, and just kind of follow the instructions. So open the terminal. We're going to do git config global user.name, and then within the quotes, is it within the quotes, right? Your GitHub username.
Do you still need the quotes? And we just put our name in the quotes?
Yeah, I think it's in the quotes as well. Yeah, precisely. So like mine, I think is like Tom Preet. Yeah, that's like that's my GitHub username.
Oh, mine's terrible. I didn't know that.
It's okay.
It's not like offensive or anything. It's just like really stupid.
Has everyone done that? And then next, in order to test it, we're going to ensure that it's been set up correctly, git config -- global space user.name, and then your username should show up. And then we're going to do the same things with the email and password correct. So it's setting your commit email address in Git. I would double check your email in GitHub just to ensure that it's correct. So we're going to do git config global user.email, and then your email address used for GitHub. And in order to test it, again, global user.email. Just scroll down.
see in the system.
As long as it's the one that's
And then lastly, we're going to do your password. This has changed. If you type in that, you can test it. So like I already do. There it is. And then if it isn't installed,
We're not securing our password right now, so we're not actually committing to the security.
correct.
Specifically, we're not typing in our password where it would display in the clear anyway.
I think that's it.
Or at least right, not right now.
After that, we're going to ensure that VS Code is your global text editor for all things Git. So you have to use copy and paste. That should be good. In order to ensure that your username and password and git ignore are all installed and set up correctly, you can run git config -- global -l. Just do something like that.
So for the password part,
Yes.
how do we know if we don't need to do that to install? Like it won't tell you, it just doesn't say anything.
Yeah.
You have to get stored erase line after you enter that.
Then you're good?
Yeah, you should be.
Okay. All right.
Oh, okay. And where do we enter the password?
Doesn't look like
It's, yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah, it's industrial. I think that's what you're doing whenever you're doing OS6 keychain, right? It's
Yeah.
the same thing that, like, whenever it's like, oh, do you want to select so your password is the same thing.
Yeah, it like caches your password.
Oh, so the first time I do it, when I do it.
Yeah, so like it should see like you already have your username and your email, probably just the username. So if you have that username set up, like, so if I go into my preferences under Safari, like that's exactly what I did just to fill my Git.
All right, we have 15 minutes left, and we only got a little bit left to go. So let's get through this so we can get to lunch and help you set up anything that you don't currently have working correctly. So next we're going to install Bash using Homebrew. I'm gonna do brew install bash. I might actually have to install it. So we're gonna have to add the most up-to-date version to a couple of files. It's like a shells file. So in order to first verify that the shells is owned at the root directory, we can do this code first, this ls-la. The root, cool, works. And we can open up this shells file by code using that command code that will open up the VS code. And we can add this user local bin bash to the last line. Whatever. Yeah. So you've read that. Failed to save shells, insufficient permission. You have to retry as sudo. But yeah. And then if you retry sudo, it's going to ask you to. Yep. Save it. Now we can change the shell command by copying and paste this change shell, this chsh dash save user bin with the dash. Ask you the password. Cool. And we can actually launch a new terminal window, just making sure that everything's set up correctly. Good. Cool.
Quit out of both VS Code and iTerm.
You can quit out of iTerm and relaunch it and then run that command just to ensure. That is everything so far. That's like all the main software that you guys need for the rest of the cohort. Then add, so.
This is free software.
Yeah. So 5.0.11.
Still a little iffy about the password part, but I got all the stuff that should come up.
Yeah, and when we just if you're like confused about the password with GitHub or Git, when we start committing code, you'll know kind of right away whether it's working or not. Committing is also like or pushing code to GitHub. That is it. 10 minutes early. Awesome. So we'll be back at 1300 or 1 p.m. You take lunch or like get everything set up. That if you're not 100% set up, grab myself or Mike, and we'll get you where you need to be. That's everything. So remote, you guys want to be back at 1 p.m. Central Time? And we'll be here for any questions if you guys are stuck or anything like that.